Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through the notes on powers in inverse variation. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can find inverse variation with powers. So we're just going to do a couple examples here, which should pretty clearly help you figure out how to do powers in inverse variation. So suppose b is inversely proportional to the square of h, and that b equals 30 when h equals 14. Find these two things here. So we're going to go back to our inverse variation. So if you remember, that was x times y equals k, right? Now, the only thing that's different about this is now it is the square of h. And we have b and h. So instead of x and y, we're going to do b times h. But it says that it's inversely proportional to the square of h. So we're going to do b times h squared equals k. And then we'll be able to plug things in and come up with our proportionality constant, which will then we'll be able to write into a nice little formula to figure out these two. Okay, so we know that b is 30, so we'll do 30 times h, which is 14, so we'll do 14, but we got to square 14 because whatever h is, we square it, and that gives us k. All right, so let's do 30 times 14 squared, which gives us 5880. So 5880 is going to be our k. So that means our formula here is going to be bh squared equals k. So it's going to be b times h squared equals 5880. And that's our formula that we can use. Okay, so now to figure out b when h is 42, we're going to simply, we've got b times h squared equals 5880. Right, so we're going to plug in, we get h, so we'll do b times 42 squared equals 5880. So we're going to simply divide both sides by 42 squared. Oops, that does not look good. 42 squared, and that should tell us what b equals. So 5880 divided by 42 squared. So let's do 5880 divided by 42 squared. Our calculator will do order operations correctly for us here. So we end up getting that b is 3.33 rounded off to 2 decimal places. Okay, we'll do this one here, but first let's do a quick little comedy break.
Look at her eyes. Oh my God.
All right. So let's take a look at this one. H when b equals 50. So again, our formula b times h squared equals 5880. So our b is now 50. Oops, times h squared equals 5880. So we'll divide both sides by 50. Right, and that will tell us that h squared what h squared equals. So we've got 5880 divided by 50 gives us 117.6. So now we want to square root both of those to figure out what h equals. So we will square root second answer, and we get 10.84 to the nearest hundredth. Okay? All right. That is all we have for powers in inverse variation. If you have any further questions on any of this, please feel free to ask in class. Thanks.